your favorite sports show, Game on Nigeria, and I'm going to do them alone this week. My guy, Emeka Dalente, India on the run this week. And I made my humble self, Kofuola Akimote. And we're going to give you major sports analysis for the major leagues across Europe. Yes, and we don't show again. And we're going to go straight into the matches, and we're going to start with England as usual. But this weekend, now FA Cup matches full England, as we see and so. And we'll just talk about the few major matches with the Arsenal, Manchester United will play. This match go tough well, but you know see this match get history. They always play the same. They always on die for pitch. And you know see now Manchester United don't get new coach in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They don't win in first 6-7 matches in a row. He's the first manager to do this with Manchester United, and this match is going to be tough. Arsenal has some injury crisis and injury problems. You have this guy out with injury. What is his name? You have Bellerin. Bellerin is out for the season. He's basically out of the season. So Nathan Niles is going to be replacing him. We've had Ozil coming in and out of the squad. He's been injured. Match go tough basically. So the reason I say both teams to score over 2.5. Go over 2.5. And we'll go straight to Accrington Stanley versus Derby County. Now they don't come out another big team in Southampton, another Premiership team in Southampton. Remember I said their coach now former Chelsea midfielder and legend Frank Lampard. So normal level this match, I feel say Derby could beat Accrington Stanley either 2x or a way win either half. Now me carry on. And more come out there, more quickly go Man City versus Burnley. Manchester City versus Burnley. Man City should beat Burnley any day, anytime, regardless of competition, regardless of people they play. You have the likes of Riyad Mahrez, you have the likes of leomessi. I just say straight to more, just more not to talk. Straight in for Manchester City. And more come for there, go Millwall versus Everton. Millwall versus Everton. Now another Obonge match, and obviously it's going to be a tough one for Everton because Everton is going to be playing away from home, and you know how these lower league teams are with their pitches. They're always bad, terrible pitches. But either way, I still see Everton winning this match or a way win either half. Now me carry on. Now me talk so. So more can go Wimbledon versus West Ham. West Ham has their problems. Their problem with Marko Arnautovic. They want a way striker saying he's going to China and all. But I still see West Ham winning that match regardless because Wimbledon has been shipping in goals in the last few matches. In the last 3 matches, they've lost in a row. So I see a West Ham win. And the final pick from the FA Cup matches where I pick now Chelsea versus Sheffield Wednesday. Chelsea versus Sheffield Wednesday. You know, say Gonzalo, why not finally come from Italy, from loan from Juventus or loan from Messi Milan. But either ways, I still think Chelsea will be too much for Sheffield Wednesday. That's a straight win for Chelsea. From there, more they go championship matches. The few championship matches where you go day this weekend based on say FA Cup fixture day. So make us start with Aston Villa Ipswich. Aston Villa Ipswich. Ipswich don't they lose their match back to back. Even Aston Villa said get their problem, but I feel Aston Villa will still be too much for Ipswich basically. So I see this match either Aston Villa won't win either half or 1x. More come up for there go Blackburn Rovers versus Hull City. This match there is going to be lots of goals, loads and loads of goals. Hull City is good scoring from Blackburn, also is scoring well. So I say go about 2.5, but if you want to be safe, 0.15, 0 over 1.5 goals. Let's dig there and go to Norwich City versus Sheffield United. And this match now the peak of the week for championship. Now second versus fourth on the table. And Norwich has been scoring goals. They're trying to go back to Premier League where they belong, and they're playing against Sheffield United. That's also been playing pretty well. So goals go plenty for this match. So I say over 1.5 goals or go over 2.5. There will be other APL matches in the midweek this week that is coming, EPL matches, and we have Bonge matches for Premiership this week. We have Arsenal versus Cardiff City. Arsenal is going to be trying to continue their resurgence after beating Chelsea last time out 2-0. And they'll be playing against Cardiff City, the team in relegation zone. All I see is Arsenal straight win, regardless of their injury problems. Arsenal straight win. And we have Fulham versus Brighton. This match is a must-win for Fulham because if they want to get out of the relegation waters that they are in right now, Claudio Ranieri has to start picking up points for Fulham and his club. So basically, I see 1.5 goals because Brighton will obviously score. Brighton is a team that knows how to score goals. So I see 1.5 goals over 1.5 goals or 1x for Fulham. And now let's now go to Huddersfield versus Everton. This is another match where there will be goals. You have players like Richarlison in Everton. You have players like Ademola Lookman, the Nigerian import that said refused to play for Nigeria. And we also have Theo Walcott still there. You have Bernard. This match I see I see 1.5 goals to over 1.5 goals or 2x for Everton, because history is on Everton side. Everton never loses against Huddersfield. And we have Manchester United against Burnley. Manchester United is the side that you know as they go now. Under Solskjaer, they win, they go. So I don't see this run stopping anytime soon. So I see another straight win for Manchester United. Newcastle United versus Man City. Like I told you last time out, the coach of Newcastle talks say for Newcastle not to relegate, say na miracle go be. I don't think they will relegate though. I think it's just a joke. But Man City is still going to be too much for Liverpool, for Newcastle United. And also the problem is Man City is chasing Liverpool tooth and nail, so they will not want to drop any points right now. They are a team on fire right now. So Man City straight win for that match. Now we have Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Chelsea has finally reunited with their Manchester reunited with the former striker Napoli, and that's in Higuain. So I think he's trying to sort out a striking problem because Morata will not be firing on all cylinders for him. Bournemouth is a team that scores and they are at home, so this match is going to be a very tough one. But Chelsea has an history of always beating Bournemouth or at least getting a draw. So I say straight in for Chelsea, but if you want to be safe, 2x, yes. And then now we go to Liverpool versus Leicester. This match is always a tough one. It's a match where both teams always tend to score themselves. They always tend to score themselves. So Liverpool is a team that right now they want to win the league, so they are trying to beat everybody. Well, you have the likes of Mohamed Salah, you have the likes of Mane, you have Firmino, firing on all cylinders. They always find a way to win, even if it's via penalty. They always find a way to score or to win. So you have, and then Jamie Vardy has a knack for scoring the big teams. He has a knack for scoring Chelsea, for scoring Liverpool. Scoring Manchester United. So this match is going to be a tough one. So I say go over 2.5 for this match, or home win both half. No. That means Liverpool is not going to win both halves. And also, I say 3 goals up for Leicester City. Those are the 3 odds or 3 ways you should play this match. And finally, wrapping up England, we go to Tottenham versus Watford. This match is going to be a pretty tough one, owing to the fact that Tottenham have injury crisis. Harry Kane is injured. Son has gone to the Asian Cup. You have Lucas Moura struggling with injury. Last time out, Llorente was brought in. They bring Llorente, make him score for Tottenham. He go do one goal. So the matter be as he get for Tottenham right now. Thankfully and luckily they were able to beat Fulham, because you know Fulham now led the team right now. So Tottenham still eventually beat them through Harry Winks. This match is going to be tough for them because Watford is scoring. They are performing really well this season. You have Doucouré doing great things. You have Pereira. Pereira replaced with Charleston that went to Everton, but it seemed like it was just a perfect replacement, and it's been wonderful. You still have Troy Deeney and the likes doing wonderful things. And basically, I think that's a wrap for England for the midweek matches. So let us go straight to Spain for the matches in Spain, and trust me, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a bumper weekend this weekend in the Spanish La Liga. You have Sevilla versus Levante. Levante seems to know how to lose to the big teams. They lost to Atletico Madrid just 2 weeks back. They lost to Barcelona. They've lost to the big teams. And Sevilla just beat Barcelona in the Copa del Rey match. Even though Barcelona arrested Leomessi and co, but I still think it's no excuse. Sevilla is not a pushover team. And trust me, Sevilla, they get those goal scorers there. You have Yebda there and co. So I think it's 1x for Sevilla if you want to be very safe. But you can go for home win either half. So that's Sevilla to win it half. So we'll go straight to Atletico Madrid versus Getafe. This match is going to be a tough one. Getafe, they score everybody right now. For the last 6 matches, Getafe has at least scored a goal. They beat Alaves the last time out 4-0. So, but you know Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone, they sabi defend well, they sabi arranging team. Even with the Diego Costa we get injuries, they still perform. They fire on all cylinders. So I don't see Atletico Madrid. They hardly lose at home. So I don't see Atletico Madrid losing this match. I say if you want to be safe, you can say 1x and under 4.5 for Atletico Madrid at home, or you can say go and over 2.5 based on the say then 2 they score. Atletico go score. They know 2 they score goals, but they go score. And Getafe say they score everybody this so far so good. So more come for them, more go Girona versus Barcelona. You know Barca now. Once they don't rest players, the next match, if they fuck up for that match with the rest player, the next match when Messi return, now bad about Abidjan, he go beat anybody. So the level be. Luis Suarez, Messi will be back in the starting lineup. You have and the likes. They just bought De Jong from Ajax. But this is going to be a tough match because Girona is a team that always find a way to score all teams, regardless of who they are playing with. Real Madrid, anybody they're playing with, they score. But you know, by Barca now, they always find a way to beat person. Even if now Joro they go use, they will shall beat. Even with VAR, they still do Joro go do out. So Barca straight win or go over 2.5. Remember, I make that in our Barca fans. They say there, and I start they make noise, but thank God say no day. So the final match for this weekend for Spain, we will go the touchlights now. Espanyol versus Real Madrid. Espanyol is not having so much of a fantastic season this season, in this 2018-2019 season. And Real Madrid neither is not doing so well, but Vinicius has seemed to change the tide and turn the tide. Solari, I don't have too much faith in that guy. I believe they will see sack and last because all these young boys when you want they use. They go win today, lose tomorrow, bros. But at all, na impact. Because I still feel for this match, Madrid will still win or draw. So Madrid win or draw for this match. And from there we go straight to the Italian Serie A. Yes, we're going to Italy. Known as Italian Serie A, there are a lot of heavyweight matches this weekend. Make a put on like that. Now Goliath versus Goliath match now we get this week. As in plenty for Italy this week. It's just crazy. You have Sampdoria versus Udinese. Udinese has been one play this season. Udinese is not the Udinese of old when they had the great strikers there. This time around, it's not so enterprising for them. You have Sampdoria who still know how to do well against them. So I still feel Sampdoria should win this match, or if you want to be safe, Sampdoria win or draw. And then you go to Sassuolo versus Cagliari. Sassuolo they started the season so well. Kevin Prince Boateng, the guy that just gone to Barcelona now, they were scoring goals. You had Babaka, the African man, doing so well. All of a sudden, it seems the goals dried up, but still, they drew last time out 0-0 with Inter Milan. So I still feel there will be too much for Cagliari, being that they're playing at home as well. So the home advantage will be on their side. Let us now talk about the first heavyweight match of the weekend. AC Milan versus Napoli, bros. This one a tough one. You remember, you know how big AC Milan is as a team. AC Milan are a big team, any day, anytime. Even if they get problem right now, there is all the issue with the board saying not having too much confidence in General Gattuso. They're tired, but bros, still big match. Napoli they play, and we have the new coach of Napoli after they replaced him with Mauricio Sarri with Carlo Ancelotti. He tends to bench Dries Mertens and bring him from the bench and make Mertens can't do super sub for match. But so as BDB now, the Naples they are always behind Mertens. Anytime he comes on the pitch, you hear his name Mertens. But the last 5 matches, now wherever they play him, heaven, air to sky, moon, anywhere they play him, Napoli they lose to AC Milan. So I think that sequence is still going to continue. So I say go over 2.5 or 2x for Napoli. More for them, we'll go Chievo versus Fiorentina. Chievo know they do too well this season. Chievo are a team where they only did Serie A since. But Fiorentina are a big team right now. They get some young and nice, fantastic footballers. At all, if you want bad, you want spoil. To win or draw for Fiorentina. More come for them, go straight to Torino versus Inter Milan. On this match, you go tough well. Torino are a team where if you beat any of the big teams for Serie A, and you also know Inter Milan they be bad guys. This are beat anybody too. So make I just talk, say okay, under Spalletti, Inter Milan 2x or under 4.5, or if you just don't want to get matter for the level, just say 2x straight. More can go Lazio versus Juventus. You know how many players they Lazio now. You know Ichiro Immobile, all those correct players, and you can't get Juventus. Ronaldo still missed penalty last week, but you know Juventus. No matter how you score them, the NSF will score you back, and they will make sure say they don't lose at all. Make everybody draw. So as it be, what's come to worst, 2x and under 4.5 for Juventus Lazio. Or if you want to look at say, you know what, you're on the safe, we'll just say Juventus win or draw. So as you don't come up for Italian Serie A now, we will enter Germany, and it's called the German Bundesliga. And only 2 matches with the touchlight for here this weekend, and we're going to look Bayern Munich versus Stuttgart. And Stuttgart they poor from this season. And make another life for every time when they play, Bayern they always beat them. But when they don't play, when they don't beat them, even if Stuttgart win, they play over 0.25. So this match, make another life for you. If you want to play them, just look say Bayern straight win or over 2.5 goals. Because I remember say Bayern they try catch Borussia Dortmund because they don't far from them small. And more come out for them, more go the Borussia Dortmund we'll talk about. Borussia Dortmund versus Hannover. This match they fear me somehow. Dortmund go see drop points as I look at this season. So we'll just talk over 1.5 goals. Yes. And we'll come out from Germany and go straight to French Ligue 1. And we will talk about just 2 matches for here. Now Amiens versus Lyon. And Lyon they always beat Amiens any day, anytime, anywhere. Even if they wake them from sleep, they could beat Amiens. So we'll just talk Lyon straight win. But you know, say Lyon are very funny team. They feel lose to any team as well. So if you case they fear, if you want to safe, you just say away win either half. More come up for France, more go. We see the France. Sorry, more the leaders, Paris Saint-Germain with Neymar, Cavani, and Kylian Mbappe. When they play Rennes, and Rennes they always they worry. Rennes they worry well. So this match go tough. But you know, say for France, PSG they always find their way to beat anybody. So this match, as it don't say go tough. But PSG they beat anybody. They could beat Marseille, beat Lyon. So I will just say, if you want, say more talk go over 2.5 or straight win PSG. Yeah, more come up for them. More go the final league we will look for this week, and we're going to go Holland, which is called the Eredivisie. You know, last time out now, I tell you, I said they always play over 2.5, go over 2.5. That's PSV and Ajax. And that's what happened last week with that. And we're going to look at them again this week. PSV versus Groningen. I'll go tell you again. Either straight win for PSV because they won't far from Ajax, or go over 2.5. I know last time out, Ajax, they draw 4-4 with Erenveen. I tell you, say that match go tough very well, and that's so it be. So this time around, the fair not going to play Ajax. Another tough match. Remember Van Persie, our former Arsenal striker, we play for Manchester United, Dave Feyenoord. So that match go tough. But every time when they play this match, Ajax they always find way to at least see win or draw wherever they play. So I go say go and over 2.5 or 2x for this match. This match go tough very well. More come up for them. We'll go Erenveen versus AZ Alkmaar. Last week Erenveen win 3-0. Now last week Erenveen follow Ajax drag 4-4. And Ajax, AZ play well last week. So, but they always play go over 2.5. So, like I always tell you, if you want this safe, just play go or over 2.5. And the final match we're going to look for Holland for this weekend in the whole of Europe. Now, Pek Zwolle versus Heracles for Holland as well. And the match go tough well, but you know Holland now goals they always score. Whether they're for their first division, their second division, their third division, anyone they always score goals. So I will tell you over 1.5 goals for that match. And that's so we're going to leave on for this week. And you know, like I always say, may the odds always favor you. And I'm going to give you your final notes. You know, what we do, we say, and what we say, we do. So my name remains Koforo Lakinbote. Catch you same time next week on the same edition and same show, Game On Naija.